Hi folks, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we will discuss about the diabetic nephropathy. So simply by definition that how the hyperglycemia or the long-term hyperglycemia will affect on the renal tissues and what are the segments in the renal tissue can be affected by the long-term hyperglycemia. So in the long term, it can affect on the basement membranes of the glomerular capillaries, basement membranes of the tubules, basement membrane of the Bowman's capsule, and the basement membranes of the arterioles as well. And along with the thickening of the basement membranes, it also causes the increase in the mesangial matrix, and this could be in the form of nodular or it could be in the form of diffuse. And when it is in form of nodular, the famous terminology is the Kempston-Wilson nodule, and it also can lead to the institutive lesions, which we will discuss when we describe the histology. So discussing about the etiology or the pathophysiology of the hyperglycemia, how can it affect the renal segment? So the main etiology of the diabetes is the long-term hyperglycemia, whether it is a diabetes type 1 or whether it is a diabetes type 2. So what happened in the long term when there is a metabolites of the glucose, when those metabolites interact with the metabolites of the amino acids or the lipids, and then they form the products with the help of a process known as the glycosylation. And this glycosylation is it can occur without the presence of any enzyme. So that's why this process is completely called as non-enzymatic glycosylation. And the products that form after this interaction is known as the advanced glycosylated end products. And these products have their receptors either on their macrophages, either on the endothelial cells. When they interact with those receptors, when they cross-link, they cause commonly the formation of tumor growth factor beta. So what happens when this tumor growth factor beta is increased, it causes the increased production of the extracellular matrix. And this same goes with the diabetic retinopathy. But in those cases, VEGF is the growth factor which is commonly causes the diabetic retinopathy. And other than this mechanism, there is another mechanism in which, as we know, like physiologically, proteins contains the negative charges, and the filtration barrier also contains the negative charges. So physiologically, negative charges negative repel each other. But when these, the one of the pathophysiology of this end products is that they decrease that negative charge on the basement membrane. So the filtration barrier is lost, and then even the albumin can accumulate over there, or they can filter it out from the barriers as well. Discussing about the histology of the renal glomeruli. So this slide represents that the background of the kidney is so much atrophic, and this is the cortical glomeruli. So this end is called as the Bowman's membrane, and the space is the Bowman's space. And here we can see that the glomerular capillaries has the mesangial expansion in a nodular fashion. So this nodular mesangial expansion is called as the Kimmelstone-Wilson nodule, and in the long term, it can lead towards the diffuse mesangial matrix expansion as well. If we go on the high power, we can clearly appreciate now that there is an mesangial expansion in the form of the forming like a nodules. So it was first defined by the scientist known as the Kimmelson. So that's why it has the name as the Kimmelson-Wilson nodule. And as it grows, there is some breakdown or there is some lysis of this mesangium. So when there is a lysis of this mesangium, then it can cause the formation of microaneurysms on those glomerular capillaries, which is known as the microaneurysms. So this is the trichrome stain which clearly define these chemical Wilson nodules. And this is the picture which highlights the thickening of these basement membranes, either on the glomerular basement membranes or either on the proximal tubular basement membranes. And if we do the electron immunofluorescence on these, so it will beautifully highlight the high intensity of the linearly lining IgG immunoglobulin along those basement membranes of the glomeruli. And the last thing in the last lesion is the exudative lesion. So literally it meaning as the fluid-like swelling in any area. So this lipohyaluronasis of body is commonly found in the glomerular capillaries. When it breaks off from those capillaries and it attaches with the Bowman's capsule, it is known as the lipohyaluronasis or the capsular drop off. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.